The first light of dawn stretched over Ouagadougou, painting the city in soft gold. President Ibrahim Traoré, breaking from his usual schedule of meetings, made an unusual decision. Today, he would step out into the streets and see his people, not from behind a desk, not through reports, but with his own eyes. "I want to visit Delgado Ouedraogo National Hospital," he told his chief of staff firmly. "Sir, we have appointments, official meetings. How can I make the right decisions from behind a desk if I don't know how people live?" Ibrahim interrupted gently but firmly. "No preparation, no notice. I want to see the hospital as it truly is." Without sirens or ceremony, Ibrahim arrived at the hospital in a simple car, flanked by only 2 quiet bodyguards. He wore a traditional Burkinabe shirt, blending with the early morning crowd. The hospital director hurried forward, startled. "Mr. President, we weren't expecting you," he stammered. "That's exactly why I came," Ibrahim said softly, a calm smile on his face. "Show me everything. I want to see it as it really is." The hallways were crowded. Patients waited on benches or sat on the floor, their faces lined with worry. Some recognized him and gave shy smiles. Others were too sick or preoccupied to notice. Ibrahim stopped repeatedly, kneeling to speak with a mother cradling her sick child. "We are with you," he said, squeezing her hand. "We are working to make things better." He shook hands with an elderly man, whose eyes glistened with tears at the unexpected kindness. Yet the reality of the hospital was hard to ignore. Equipment was old, medicine scarce, and workers exhausted. Paint peeled from the walls, and water dripped from the ceiling, forming tiny puddles on the tiles. Dr. Ouattara, the head of pediatrics, a man around 50 with weary but determined eyes, approached. "Mr. President, would you visit our intensive care unit? That's where the most serious cases are, and where we need help the most." Ibrahim nodded and followed him through narrow hallways. Turning a corner, he slipped on a wet patch of floor, but regained his balance just in time. "Be careful, the floor was just cleaned," came a soft voice. Ibrahim turned to see an older woman in a faded blue uniform holding a bucket and mop. She kept her head down, embarrassed. "I'm sorry, sir," she whispered. "It's nothing, madam. I wasn't paying attention," he replied kindly. He was about to move on when something about her, her voice, the way she stood, sent a shiver down his spine. He stopped, studying her face. Dr. Ouattara nudged him. "Shall we continue, Mr. President?" Ibrahim remained frozen, heart quickening. The woman's hands were tired from years of labor, her posture quiet yet dignified. Her face seemed familiar. "What is your name?" he asked, his voice calm but urgent. The woman blinked in surprise. Slowly, she lifted her head, revealing a face marked by age but still gentle. "My name is Aminata," she said softly. The name echoed in Ibrahim's mind like a distant memory. Familiar, yet heavy with meaning. Aminata. Common, yet somehow special. "Thank you, Aminata," he whispered, unable to explain the sudden rush of recognition. Something deep in his past stirred, a memory half forgotten, but unmistakably real. Time seemed to pause. In the crowded, noisy hospital, the air grew thick with unspoken questions and memories waiting to be unlocked. Ibrahim continued his tour through the hospital, but his mind kept drifting to her. Aminata's face, gentle yet strong, stirred fragments of memories he hadn't thought of in years. Glimpses of a life before power, before the city, before everything. He tried to focus on the doctor's words, the broken equipment, the patients waiting for care. But every time he saw a tired nurse or a child in pain, Aminata's image returned, sharper than before, pulling at something deep inside him. As Dr. Ouattara led him into the maternity ward, Ibrahim caught sight of her again, moving quietly down a hallway. His heart tightened. He stepped aside. "Doctor, please continue with my chief of staff," he said softly. "I'll join you soon." He followed the hallway, approaching Aminata. She jumped slightly at the sight of him, eyes wide. "Sorry to bother you, Aminata," he said gently, letting kindness carry authority. I would like to ask you a few questions, if that's all right." Her hands tightened around her mop. I didn't do anything wrong, Mr. President," she stammered. "I know," he said, offering a warm, reassuring smile. "Tell me, how long have you worked in this hospital?" 23 years, sir," she answered quietly, still looking down. "I started working here after I left my village." "And which village are you from?" "Kuogo, in San Matenga province," In the north, she replied. Ibrahim's heart skipped a beat. Kuogo, the village of his childhood, the smell of cooking millet, women singing at the well, memories rushed back vividly. Laughter, small hands, a mother's warmth. Do you know a woman named Fatima? He asked, voice tight with anticipation. Aminata slowly lifted her head. Her eyes met his, wide with recognition and emotion. Fatima. Yes, she whispered. I knew her well. She was your biological mother. Ibrahim felt a lump in his throat. So, you knew her and me? Aminata nodded slowly, tears forming at the corners of her eyes.